Hi there, welcome back to another week of Counter-Strike game and skin market update. This is SkinomiCS2, and this video covers the 24th to 30th of November 2025. Happy Thanksgiving for those who celebrate it. The Armory Pass surprised this week with almost all collections gaining in ROI. Specifically, the Train collection was up 38.7% during the week, with the AWP Long Dog almost doubling in price. This is surprising, as no sign points towards its removal anytime soon, especially with the Train collection still in the competitive map pool. 6 collections in total are now profitable to redeem. The stickers from the Budapest major, which are now slowly stabilizing, have low returns on unboxing hovering about 50%. This is to be expected, given the looming 75% off sale after the major. In saying that, it is surprising to see Carrigan's sticker being the most expensive within the contender autograph. Perhaps some are predicting his retirement looming. Speaking of the major, it hasn't been a great week to be an audience of it. Technical issues plagued the stream in the first few days, including a 2-hour disruption caused by a power outage. Whilst the power outage may be uncontrollable, the number of audio issues certainly wasn't. Thankfully, things are slowly getting better as the major progresses. Now looking at the pick'ems, I passed stage 1 with many heart attacks along the way. With the best of 1 still in play for the first few games, you can never really get the 0-3 and 3-0s right. Out of all the creators, it appears that 30 to 40% are still in contention for Diamond. For stage 2, these were my picks. My rationale was that Imperial has had poor form, and Chinese teams have disappointed this major. Adding to that, Aurora is a clear favourite, whilst Na'Vi have not been great recently. Most creators seem to agree on most of the teams to make it past this stage. However, as of this video, the results from day 1 of stage 2 have been a complete disaster. The paper coin meme is a reality right now, and I have no idea who will be able to get Diamond through these results. Moving on now, the market sentiment has turned, or I should say, the pumps have started again. The target this week was the first generation of gloves. Looking at the 6-month trendline of the driver gloves, the growth has never stopped apart from the drop in late October. The glove case has rose significantly as well this week. Note that the growth does extend towards 2nd and 3rd generation gloves as well, albeit not as significant. Whether good or bad, demand does appear predominantly from China again. The skin trading and auction website Skinbid, co-owned by influencers within the scene, Zipple and Onipixel, has filed for bankruptcy this week. Fortunately, users are not impacted, as withdrawals are still functioning normally until the 5th of December. For users of the site, please withdraw immediately. The news is not great, given the market monopoly of CS float in the West. Dominance can bring stagnation over time. On the flip side, the new trading site launched a few weeks ago called skins.com appear to be continuously controversial. Skins from the site appear to have directly traded to wagering site bots that can cause bans. Additionally, the business model of the site is also questionable, given the 98% rate to buff price which it currently pays for instant sales. The site has come out to publicly rebuttal the allegations. They state that they supply to all sources, which may include wagering sites via Chinese platform buy orders. I have no way of verifying either side's claims, but I do urge my viewers to exercise caution. It is important to know that supplying to shady sites once or twice will not likely result in instant bans, which means the average player is safe regardless. Finally, let's move on to our weekly craft idea. There haven't been too many non-explicit creative crafts I have seen recently, so I'm posting quite an old concept of 5 stickers in a circle. However, I like this 4th iteration, as it cleverly uses negative spacing in the middle to create a flower, so that the entire craft is slightly larger. The total craft costs about 15 cents USD on Steam. Switching gears to market analysis. The SkinomiCS2 Index, which contains a list of items I use to represent the market, is up 5.72% this week. The significant rise appears to represent both a turning sentiment, but also the beginning of another wave of pump and dumps. The eSports Fire Index, which contains a list of 300 high-value liquid items, complies with my story. The index is breaching the highest point we've been since the crashing October. Moving on to buff value of trade and trade volume data, sourced from the cheap instant skin trading site itrade.gg. Volume again remains quite stable with minor declines. Steam DT's total value and volume data validates this trend. Trades are regressing towards 2.5 million per day, whilst the value of trade hover at about $20 million. Now, let's break the skin market movements this week down into categories. Starting off with knives and gloves, everything rose in this category, carried by the meteoric rise of the first generation gloves as we spoke about. Higher tiered weapon skins also rose in the week. The Deagle Blaze was a standout here, climbing by 25% within the period. Agent skins were mostly up this week, claiming back a small portion of the value that was lost since the crash. Last but not least, the affordable weapon segment were all up this week. Older covert skins continue to gain value massively. Moving on, the CS2 player base was steady this week. Average player count are hovering just below 1 million. The case unboxing numbers have lowered to 7.7 million this week. As the number of trade-ups dwindle, this number is a closer representation of case unboxings again. Non-active case prices increased massively this week with the revival in confidence of the market. Although an outlier in this camp was the original weapon case, which dropped by about 5%. Active cases offered the opposite image, which were all down by a single-digit percentage this week. The larger quantity of these make them less susceptible to pump and dumps. Let's now take a glimpse at this week's biggest winners and losers. In the winners, a couple skins from the Wildfire collection in conjunction with the control panel from 2018's Nuke collection made up the list. None of these three are related to the knife trade-ups, which indicates foul play. On the inverse, stickers from the Budapest Major drops as more are being unboxed. This is normal behaviour and is expected to continue. Onto the top trades of the week, also sourced from the skin trading site itrade.gg. Buff's top trade was a Vulcan with 4 Titan Hollows applied, selling for an astonishing $78,000. Second and third places were the usual Wild Lotuses for $17,000 to $18,000. On CS Float, the interest in Cato 14 continues as another Challenger capsule sold along with an Audi LC Hollow, followed by the usual Wild Lotus. In game news, there were no updates this week. This is also expected behaviour as the major is ongoing. Gameplay updates will typically come after the major. Now onto the pro scene. There aren't any tier 1 tournaments as the major is ongoing. However, there were a few other pieces of pro scene news. Glaive, the iconic 4-time major winning IGL, has decided to retire as a player and to pursue a career as a coach. Heroic officially benched LNZ for Kryzen. OG signed Flamers to replace Kryzen. And lastly, Wildcard started their rebuild project with the signing of the coach, James IRL. Please do check out my Patreon. I am still open to skin donations, and a reminder to join my Discord. Please like, share and subscribe. On that bombshell, that was all. See you next time.